downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down.
You look at this Browns defense.
Well, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Flowers shows there that he is a student of the craft whose mentality is simply, I'm going to take the football away from defenders. A tenacious player and almost a clone of Steve Smith Sr., somebody else who had some really...
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Rodney McLeod.
And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So problems with Aaron passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
On their side of midfield at the 47. After the interception, here's Watson. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Moore, the man in motion. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll send a receiver in motion left.
Down, he's coming.
Back to throw, Watson.
That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Moore, the man in motion.
At 31.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down.
An audible here to get a new look.
On 4th down, Watson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down.
A guy coming off his best season as a pro. Here's Nick Chubb.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Browns had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. And you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
4th down, he's coming. Out.
They go up the middle with Chubb. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up.
And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back in the 25. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Watson.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team. We talk about complementary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
Oh, look at the juke. Oh, and Nelson stays toppling. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
It's another 1st down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Dobbins with a typical strong run, and 3 years in, you still feel like you haven't seen all he can be as a pro. Injuries wiped out 2021 and part of 2022. But when he's out there and healthy, he can be electric.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Play action. Now Jackson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they have that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Now Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Now it's Jackson. That is caught, and he is going to have a Ravens 1st down. And they get it easily. A gain of 5 on 4th and 1. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So this offense able to convert on 4th. And now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Bateman's got it on the crossing route here. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 1st rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a
curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Flowers. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
These guys running back out of the backfield.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
This is 2nd and 8.
To throw is Watson.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this will be caught at the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10.
And Jackson throwing once more. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
More the motion man.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson.
This complete to David Bell.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Round 7.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Watson.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This offense #1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Play action. It's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility.
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Zay Flowers.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went into the half, and they came out here in the 2nd half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. They seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On the return, the Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Stiff-armed him. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Watson now to throw.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
To the air yet again, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Watson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Vita Vea able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now it's Watson.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Watson. He rifles complete. Caught by Moore. Touchdown, Browns. Elijah Moore. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. A good hands there defensively, and it's second down.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown.
Touchdown, Baltimore.
Rashad Bateman.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
They'll try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Watson's throw here into the hands of Moore.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. On first down, it's Watson. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Throwing again is Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Again, it's Watson.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. And now they're in the hurry-up.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the Ravens' 43-yard line.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's got his receiver, Cooper. A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
Well, my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Elijah Moore.
A 2-yard touchdown Brown.
And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now, you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember Coach Ryan saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Moore. He is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Now Watson going to change the look here.
They'll run with Chubb. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Here's Watson. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Oh, no, he lost the football. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. What about just keeping the football there?
Yeah, the biggest thing they're calling it now.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Look at the big man rumble. Mark Andrews. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so, because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You look at the geography of the field, right, where you are. That's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
Jackson, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Ravens have extended their lead to 15 now here in the 4th. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Grant Delpit.
Justin Tucker to kick off the open one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
And no timeout.
Watson to throw. Into the hands of Cooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10. Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he's brought down. Here's 1st down. Watson changing the play. Now Watson. And his
His throw is going to be incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
To throw, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Watson's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones.
The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off. But they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for Baltimore, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll sink now to 0-4. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.